Today we are talking about the importance of getting adequate protein in your diet. What's up you guys, Justin Peters here. Welcome back to my channel. This channel is dedicated to giving you the tips and tricks that you need to look, move, and feel better, both mentally and physically. If that sounds like something that you enjoy, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Today we are talking about the importance of getting adequate protein in your diet. So what does getting adequate protein look like? There's a really easy formula for figuring out how many grams of protein you should be getting each day. That's 0.8 to 1.0 times your body weight in grams of protein per day. So for me, that's approximately 200 grams of protein per day at 200 pounds. Really, I think that protein should be the centerpiece of your diet. You can fluctuate carbs and fat depending on what kind of diet that you have going on. If you're more ketogenic and you want more high fat, or if you're more carbohydrate, performance athlete or something. But you should make sure you're always hitting your protein numbers each day. So now that we know generally how many grams of protein you should be getting per day, and in review, that's 0.8 to 1.0 times your body weight in grams of protein each day. So again, for me, I'm 200 pounds. I'm looking to get roughly 200 grams of protein per day. So now that we know that that's your number, kind of how do we get that amount of protein over the course of the day? Sometimes that's a little difficult for people. So for me, I don't skip breakfast, but I have a light breakfast. It's typically a bulletproof coffee with protein added. I use the Prime Protein from Equipped. This is a fantastic product. I will link this in the description below. This has beef isolate protein, stevia, and cacao powder. 3 ingredients. It's the cleanest protein you can get on the market. I throw 1 or 2 scoops in my morning coffee, which is MCT and maybe some grass-fed butter, some cacao butter. Blend that all up. That's my delicious breakfast each morning. That gets me about 40 grams of protein with a decent amount of fat in there, and that kind of pushes me all the way off until roughly around lunch. So at lunch, I make sure I get a decent bolus of protein, and I really think that protein should be the building block of your meal at lunch. For me, it can be some eggs, it can be a steak, but I'm looking to get roughly around 100 to 125 grams of protein at lunchtime. What's great about getting a big bolus of protein at lunch is, regardless of whether you're having fat and or carbs as the other macronutrient along with your lunch, or both, if you're having a bunch of carbs, having a good bolus of protein is going to help mitigate that big spike in blood sugar, which then leads to that afternoon crash that people always talk about, where then they have to pound a coffee or just doing anything they can to get their head off their desk. So having an adequate amount of protein really sets you up for success in the afternoon, keeps your mind sharp, and keeps it so you can push through, those intense work days. It also sets you up for success if you have a PM workout coming up, because you now have those amino acids floating in your bloodstream ready to be put to work and ready to be utilized in whatever workout endeavor you have coming up after, say, your work. And then for the PM, for your dinner, you're looking to then get adequate protein again. So for me, my dinner is typically, again, around 100 grams of protein. It kind of depends, but I'm always trying to get a smaller meal in for dinner because I don't want my body working overtime before I go to sleep. So my big meal is typically lunch. My dinner typically is a little bit smaller, but each time I'm making sure that the cornerstone of that meal is protein, and to make sure that I'm building then the other macronutrients around that and hitting my numbers every day. One product that I do use to help with the absorption of protein is this Masszymes by Biooptimizers. I think this is a great product. I will put this in the description below. But these are enzymes that helps you break down the protein. So if you're taking a protein shake or eating a steak, you want to make sure that your body is absorbing as many of those amino acids and putting them into the building blocks of muscle, and you're getting the most out of it instead of peeing that stuff out. And so what Biooptimizer's product does is really helps you absorb the protein that you are eating, or that you're putting in your body each day, and so that you can utilize that protein much more efficiently, and making sure that you're not wasting those amino acids in your urine. So that's the way that I think about getting adequate protein each day. I think that there is a host of benefits that come with hitting your numbers each day. You will, be able to build muscle mass, keep muscle mass on more efficiently, starve off cravings, and really maintain satiety throughout the day as long as you're hitting these protein numbers. And I feel like just, overall feel and look great. So make sure you're getting adequate protein each day. Again, the formula is 0.8 to 1.0 times your body weight in grams of protein per day. And I really recommend that you track for 1 or 2 weeks on MyFitnessPal. It might involve you weighing out the food so you get an understanding, but that's going to be a great stepping stone to figuring out exactly how much calories you're getting and what the protein, looks like on the plate, so that you can go about your life and not have to put everything into a macro calculator, but still have an understanding of, how much protein is in each meal, and so that you can make sure that you're hitting your numbers. So thanks again for stopping by, you guys. I appreciate everyone watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll link all the products I just went over in the description. Thanks for coming along on this ride.